Welcome back. You're watching Credlin. A big week this week for Joe Biden's new climate envoy, the retreaded John Kerry. The former Democratic presidential nominee is under fire for taking a private jet to Iceland in 2019 to accept the Arctic Circle Award for his involvement in the Paris Climate Accords. Kerry's not accepting any of the flack.
It's the only choice for somebody like me who is traveling the world to win this battle. I negotiated the Paris Accords for the United States. I've been involved in this fight for years. I negotiated with President Xi to bring President Xi to the table so we could get Paris. And I believe the time it takes me to get somewhere, I can't sail across the ocean. I have to fly to meet with people and get things done.
Here they are to discuss this and more. Host of Outsiders, James Morrow for Sydney, and Adelaide's host of Bernardi. Friday night, 7 o'clock, don't miss it, Cory Bernardi. I'll start with you, James. A case of do as I say, not as I do.
Oh, Peter, look, these are dark times, but every now and then there is a ray of light cast down from the heavens in the form of a great story like this one. And the key to that clip from John Kerry, a man who is the climate ambassador and has 6 houses, 2 yachts, a private jet, and over a dozen cars, is someone like me, which tells you everything you need to know about the attitude of these people. You know, it's like the old Soviet Union, the old nomenclatura. You know, the ones who are the inner party members, they could do what they want. They've got the private jets and everything else. But other people, you know, the people who are laid off from the Keystone Pipeline, the people who aren't able to have their jobs drilling or exploring for oil and resources on federal lands, they're all out of a job now because of Joe Biden's executive orders and because of John Kerry and his pushing to get back into Paris. And, you know, it truly shows that the Democrats who say that they're the classless party, they want, you know, everybody to be equal. No, they are the most class-aware people. There's 2 classes, them and everybody else.
Yeah, and of course his answer there, Cory, this is Kerry's answer on the whole issue of climate change and jobs disappearing in the US, is to tell a whole lot of coal miners this week that they now need to learn to build solar panels. Most of our solar panels are imported out of China, so heaven knows how that helps them, but he is so out of touch.
Well, he is out of touch completely because he's blinded by ideology, and he knows that critical to his acceptance on the world stage in the dinner party forums and the invitations to these illustrious gatherings is you've got to go along with the zeitgeist. And that means putting your thumb on the little man, crushing the miners, crushing the things that generate prosperity in favour of a giant illusion. But of course, those conditions don't apply to you because you're special. That's John Kerry's attitude. And unfortunately, there's too many in politics right around the world that share it. Peter?
Yeah, and I'll just stay with you, Cory. You know, all this hypocrisy there on, you know, climate and jobs and cozying up to President Xi, as Kerry said. Despite Xi's pledge to go carbon neutral by 2060, there's 2060, the rest of the world is 2050. China introduced 3 times more coal-fired power into its system last year than the rest of the world combined. Right? One rule for China and one rule for everyone else. And no one's ever brave enough, are they, to actually take up this debate with China?
No, they won't take it up with China, Peter. A, because the Chinese supporters resort to, you're a racist. And as soon as, you know, Donald Trump, when he said this was a Chinese flu about coronavirus, they called him a racist. Then, of course, there's the circumstance that China has money, it has an enormous amount of influence, and it uses its money in ways that perhaps the West wouldn't apply it. And so it's effectively bought organisations like the World Health Organization. It's the exit strategy for a number of people in politics who do China's bidding and then can become consultants to Chinese state organisations. It goes on and on and on. The level of corruption or malfeasance in this is extraordinary, and no one wants to call it out because too many people are making cash out of it. And you know what's happened here in Australia? When you do call them out, as the Prime Minister has rightly done, you get punished. And so what's the end result? How many people are going to join us, or are they all going to become subservient to China like New Zealand has in this instance?